Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. I'm your instructor Joy. Let me first play a tune for you. This was beginning of Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach Solo Sonata, number 1, first movement Adagio. Thank you very much for your kind support. Here also in my Patreon page, booking lessons with me and sending me kind questions, comments, and volunteering with your time. I really appreciate. So I get a lot of questions when it comes to multiple notes, whether it's double stop, triple stop, or quadruple stops. How one could play beautifully, smoothly without having unwanted noise or accents. Very good questions. So I thought I'll just show you a couple of common mistakes that I see in my studio. That way you can know which one to start to correct. And also I will show you how to correct those. So now, when it comes to quadruple stops are made for 4 notes. So at the beginning, when we're introduced to quadruple stops, we were told to play 2 bottom strings and 2 top strings. And we were also told to stop lightly or release the bow wave and then lower right elbow and then continue with upper 2 strings. Now here, even though the theory is correct, if you change your right elbow suddenly from 2 bottom string, G and D in this case, to 2 upper string, A and E string, the degrees of right elbow from here to that one is quite large. Oops, sorry, from here to that one. Therefore, what it end up happening is this. And then a lot of instructors, including myself, saying, oh, do lower your elbow slower. But somehow, in order to catch 2 strings, it's hard to play the 2 strings, or hard to come from two bottom strings to the upper two strings without having accented. How do we avoid that? Because this quadruple stop, the 4 notes belongs together, so it has to blend in well while playing. People should not necessarily hear that we're breaking bows or we're changing the strings. They all should hear it's all well blend 4 notes somehow harmoniously sounding like organ. How do we do that? So in order for me to explain to you, I would like to introduce you to go back to the triple stops. Let's say we want to play D, B flat, and G. Because once you go back to triple stops, and then it's similar concept can be applied to the quadruple stop, and they will make your quadruple stop playing even nice and smoother. So now when we play triple stops, we play bottom 2 and top 2. That's same. However, the middle notes gets played twice. And what we do is we play bottom 2, and then for a short time, the middle string, in this case A string, gets played alone. Then continued being played by 2 strings. So we play D and A string for a short time, A string, the middle string alone for a short time, and continue to upper 2 strings. So it ends up being very smooth string crossings. Again. And then your elbow kind of lowers naturally and gradually. Now remember when you've done it, and the similar concept you can apply in the quadruple stops. So what you do is you raise your elbow a little more, because now we have to catch the G string. So playing bottom 2 string is same. However, from here the difference from the traditional approach to my suggestion is, instead of going straight to 2 upper string, you play the A string, not 2 middle string, but A string alone, a little short time alone, then continue A and E string. So you're wondering, but why can't we play 2 middle string, which is D and A, and then A and E? If you do that, then the string crossing becomes too slow, and then there's too much noise that's unnecessary, such as this. that. And then people can hear it, and that's something not quite, it doesn't quite fit to the context of music, because then the middle string gets too much emphasized, which is not important. We want to emphasize the G note, the upper note. So that's why we're playing on the A string. So to help us to have a smooth string crossings, but also at the same time we can catch the upper two string faster, like this. Try yourself. So bottom two string, then allow yourself to be on the A strings for a short time. Then continue lowering your right elbow so you can be an A and E string. And then you can try again. That can be done in many other quadruple stops or triple stops. Now, next one, the most common mistake is bow distribution. You might have noticed already. In the bottom string, I use very little bow. I use about this much, and then I use very little for the middle string, whichever that is. In this case, A string. And I use majority of the bow, more than half, a little over half bow for the upper string, which is the string that carries a melody line, and that is very important. But a lot of violinists, because we're so busy, we tend to use a lot of bow, and then we have very little bow left, and then the most important note, which is supposed to be loudest, becomes the least bow, therefore very weak. That can be simply practiced by just measuring it, or if you like, you can even put a tape, stop, and then continue. Yeah, like that. As simple as that. Now the last common mistake is about the left finger liberation. It's a little more evident here. Here I have to play first finger on the G string, third finger on the D, and second finger on the A string. Here a lot of violinists leave all three fingers down, because we see in the music all three notes bundled together with the one stem. But notice, we got off the G string already. We're no longer playing G string. Might as well liberate the finger from G string so that you can relax your left hand, which will help you vibrate freely. Again. Yeah. First, you have to place all three fingers. Now that leads to my last common mistake, is when you play triple stop or quadruple stops, because we're breaking strings, or we're playing partially some strings and then continue with the other, a lot of violinists tend to place a finger accordingly. The very first one, we play open D and G, and the B flat and G later. So the common mistake would be your fingers is not placed, and as you change the string or as you lower your right elbow, then left and follow. Then what it does is first, it's hard to play in tune because left hand's a bit late, and then whenever the left hand moves, the right hand wants to move it along, which creates another unwanted jerky motion, which creates an accent. So even when you're playing later, make sure you place all fingers, whether you're playing quadruple stop or triple stop. Or here, all three fingers. And you let go once you're done. Afterwards you can lift up, but beforehand you have to have it already placed, yeah? So I hope this gave you some ideas. Make sure when you play quadruple stops or triple stops, it's one of the hard ones, but once you master it well, it serves you a long way. It gives you a lot of opportunity, but also it forces us to work on very well with the left hand and the right hand, bow arm exercise as well, yeah? I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again. Bye bye.